I recently interviewed Lord Wolfe, and I spoke to him about what Lord Newberger said, that the law of unintended consequences could result in the new Supreme Court asserting itself in a way which is foreign to our constitution. Lord Wolfe said that at the moment he couldn't see any change from the role that the House of Lords played and the new Supreme Court plays. But he did say that in years to come, the Supreme Court could become more assertive and look overseas to find its new function. What is your view of this?
I quite strongly disagree with Lord Newberger on this subject, as I think I told him. He's a very good friend of mine, enemies or anything like that. But it seems to me that the law of unintended consequences can be relied on as a reason for never doing anything, because you never know what may happen. This creation of the Supreme Court, in my opinion, was an overdue reform, a valuable reform, and I simply do not accept the probability that the judges are going to get a rush of blood to the head and behave like maniacs at some point in the future. After all, the judges are exactly the same people as manned the appellate committee in the House of Lords. And why the fact that they've moved from one building to the other across Parliament Square is going to make them behave differently, I simply do not understand. What Lord Wolfe has at the back of his mind is the fact, well known to us all, most countries of the world have a big C constitution, which is the Supreme Court, the Supreme Law of the land, and which is entrenched in the sense that it is superior to everything else and can't be altered except a constitutional amendment. And that is notably, of course, true in the United States, but it's true almost everywhere except New Zealand. But it isn't our law, and we all know perfectly well that it isn't our law. Parliament is sovereign. Why a whole lot of really sort of learned and responsible people should overlook that, I can't imagine. What I think is true is that courts, the behaviour and sort of temper of courts, which depends to some extent on the personalities who happen to be sitting in it, can operate in a sort of cyclical manner, so that you will get a court being forward-looking, progressive, even perhaps slightly adventurous for a period. And then that would be followed by a period of sort of quiescence and consolidation and sort of rather pulling in of horns. And one can see that certainly in the United States Supreme Court, one can see it in the High Court of Australia, and no doubt you can see it in other courts as well. I don't think myself the appellate committee of the House of Lords has been notably reticent in recent years. Indeed, I think it's been quite progressive and forward-looking. So it wouldn't surprise me if there weren't a period now of some consolidation and retrenchment. But that's the natural course of things.